All right, guys. 2 more and I beat the record. What's this one?
All right, Jason Biggs, Sean William Scott.
American Pie.
Yes.
What about this one? Come on, one more.
Okay, Jason 1
Horror
directed
movie.
it.
He's gonna cut something.
Yeah.
It says Saw on your head.
Come on,
Really?
man.
What? What are you, an idiot?
You don't
Get out
tell
of
me.
here.
What game? You don't tell me.
Apparently we need lyrics for this, so we're gonna continue with Joe.
Mind over movies. Mind over movies. Mind over movies.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
Yeah. We like film.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
We like film.
Hello, everybody. It's Anthony Trombetta. Welcome to episode 3 of Mind Over Movies. Today I got what was the name that we had? Roldano.
Roldano.
I
It's a
have
fusion.
from
Roldano.
episode 1. Alex stops by. He's back again. Alex, how's it going?
It's going very well. Thank
Good for you. Good for you. And from episode 2, Joe is back. He had a lot to talk about, so I was kind of forced to put him on this episode today because he had a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's start with some box office stuff. That's how I always like to start our episodes. Box office this weekend, we had The Equalizer, which is the new Denzel movie that brought in $34 million, the big winner at the box office. The Maze Runner, which came out 2 weeks ago, brought in $17 million, and The Box Trolls, which just came out this week, brought in $17 million.
Box Trolls at the box office.
Ants Lefty's looking at me over there. What's going on? Man?
The Box Troll. I'll be honest with you. I haven't even heard of it.
No, but I said last week.
Lefty is a box troll, isn't it?
It's true.
It does look like one of them.
Can I get a synopsis or a
You
log
look
line?
like fish.
Well, but it's an animated film, right? Alex, you've
Stop
seen this
motion.
movie?
Stop motion.
I've seen it. Yes.
What do you think? And by the way, before Alex gives us a rating of this, I want to introduce our new rating system here because, over the past 2 weeks, people are saying, you guys are talking a lot. You're saying that you like movies or not. You guys should give like a rating system to the films. I said, okay, fine. Well, considering we are a talk show called Mind Over Movies, and considering our logo is a giant brain, I thought that our rating system would be a 0 to 5 brains. That's how we do it. So let's just like stars. Think of stars, but we're going to brains instead. For example, Jaws, I would give 5 brains. What would I give? 0 brains? Jeez, I don't even know. It's like a really bad movie. Oh, this is the end. I probably would give that 1 brain or so.
Oh, see?
You can go
That's not
half
bad.
brains in there too.
You see, Dan?
So Alex,
That's right.
The Box Trolls, you got a chance to see this film.
I did.
First of all, what did you think of it?
Well, it's no Pixar movie.
No,
I'll
it's an
give it-
animated film, but it's
Oh.
definitely no Pixar movie.
It's not as universal as one of theirs would be. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this movie it tried to have a nice message in there, but it fell a little short.
Right. As all animated
But
movies
did the kids
do.
like
Yeah.
it?
As all animated movies do.
Did the
they
kids
have
like it?
They did, but it
that's all
didn't get
counts.
it didn't get a great amount of laughs.
Right.
Some of it might have been a little too. It's not a mature movie, but some of the humor might have been too.
There's always that in films, I feel. Always in these animated movies, there's these
Adult
jokes that
undertones,
are
yeah.
supposed to go to adults, but it just kind of flies over kids' heads and it goes right to adults. And like, really?
I don't think these were meant or targeted for adults. It
Yeah.
just were just maybe too smart.
We got
for
to,
the
you know what?
kids.
Adults got to sit through the movies too.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, 3-year-olds aren't going to the movies saying, "Oh, can I have one for Box Trolls, please?" No,
Right.
they're going with their parents. So give me a brain rating here. How many brains does this movie get, if any?
2.5.
2.5 brains, right in
It's
the
not
middle.
too shabby.
That's like average. That's
You
like
can-
your
it was
an
IQ.
okay
Your
film.
IQ.
My IQ.
I can't say I
I'm the only
regret it.
one here with a degree. Well, he
Well,
has a degree.
I can't say I regret seeing it. So
You don't regret seeing
no,
it.
I don't
All right.
regret seeing it.
We got to see one of the top film at the box office this weekend, The Equalizer. Joe, I saw this film with you. Classic Denzel movie. Everybody's gonna, a lot of people go out and see Denzel. They just love the guy. He's of course good in pretty much anything that he does. He's Denzel Washington for goodness sake. I didn't love this movie. I didn't hate this movie. I was kind of on the fence about it. I think there were just things that didn't work for me in it. The action sequences were good, but I just think that it didn't have enough bang for the buck. I would give it 2.5 brains as well. I didn't really love it as much as maybe I should have. Joe, what do you think?
I mean, it was way too slow paced for what it was.
Yeah.
I think that they incorporated way too much dialogue in the middle of the action,
Yeah,
and there
yeah.
wasn't enough action.
Mhm.
Like how the first Taken had action after action after action. You know what I mean? A nonstop, kind of action thriller. But I mean, I would give it two Two brains.
Two brains. Two
Yeah.
brains on that one.
Is that just because you expected different?
I just
Or-
think it was too much dialogue that slowed the movie down
Okay.
in the long run. You know what I mean? Like in an action movie, you want to keep it fast paced, you want to keep it going. I just felt like it got too slow.
Well, let's you mentioned Taken, and I don't mean to steal Trailer Joe's thunder here, but considering you're here today, and you will give us some updates later, but Taken 3, the trailer is out.
It's out.
It's live.
It doesn't look that bad too.
It doesn't look that bad. Alex, you familiar with the Taken films?
I am.
What do you think about them? What's your opinion on the Liam Neeson Taken films?
I loved the first one.
Yeah, the first one everybody loves.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. It's this class. It's a great revenge film. Taken 3 is kind of the complete opposite of a revenge film. It's probably going to turn into it. There's a storyline there.
It's looking like
from
no
the
one
trailer.
was taken.
Right. Well, yeah.
Looking like nobody's taken.
The trailer is very simple. The
I mean-
ex-wife dies in the trailer. That's how
Right.
that's what the trailer
Right.
reveals. So he's been set up, it seems, in this trailer. So he's going to find the people who set him up. Forrest Whitaker's in this one. Liam Neeson's obviously back, and so I don't know how this is gonna go. I really don't know how the third part of this trilogy can even out. I don't know. What do you think?
I can't even see it being good now.
Yeah.
I think adding another star to the film is a mistake.
That's what they did.
Actually.
That's what they do.
I
They-
haven't seen the trailer, but you telling me Forrest Whitaker's in it is, I feel like that's a mistake. Because now, how does this, the first movie was all him just kicking ass.
Yeah.
And now it's with Forrest Whitaker. That can't be the storyline anymore.
I believe Taken 3 comes out in January.
Yes.
Also, we have to talk about the movies coming out this week. I know we mentioned it last week. We talked about October releases, but now we are right there. Literally, when you're watching this episode tonight, you can go out and see the screenings for Gone Girl or Annabelle. Also, this week, we have a new Nick Cage flick called Left Behind. He just keeps making movies, this
Yeah.
guy. He doesn't stop making movies.
Yeah,
I happen to be a fan of Nick Cage.
We need him.
I really happen to be a fan of him. Yes, some of his movies are bad, but I feel like Ant knows a lot more about Nick Cage than I do.
I mean, the greatest superhero movie, Ghost Rider.
Where were you last week with this prediction that the greatest superhero movie of all time is Ghost Rider?
Had to worry.
The first one or the second one?
I don't remember.
He doesn't even know there is a second one.
Yeah,
Wait, there's a
I
second
actually-
Ghost Rider?
There is a
There was
second
a
one.
second Ghost Rider movie?
I
Oh,
also
my
forgot there
goodness.
was a second one.
yeah, there
All
was.
right, I
It
don't
came out
feel
last
so
year.
bad.
Actually,
See,
this
your
year it
mind
came
is
out.
starting to go.
Yeah.
Wow, you should really watch Ghost Rider 2. I know I have a challenge for you every week to watch an obscure movie
Well-
before 1987, which we'll talk about
Yeah,
later.
later.
But you should really watch Ghost Rider 2. I want to hear how many brains you would give that. How many brains would you give Ghost Rider 1?
See, it's. I didn't really like it,
Okay.
but Ghost Rider growing up was my favorite comic book.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
I'm
smart.
on the fence. So it probably gets between 2 and 3.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
you know,
I'll take that.
because-
And Nick Cage, like I said, he just keeps making films. He keeps putting them out there. What are your guys' thoughts about Nick Cage, Joe? What's your thoughts on Nick Cage?
I mean, he's going way towards like these obscure independent movies.
Yeah.
I mean, let him do what he wants to do. I really, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say
It's
about
true,
him?
it's true.
The last one, what do you have? Rage that came out on DVD, something
Yeah,
like that.
or
Rage?
Drive Angry or something
Drive
like that.
Angry, but the recent one is.
I kind of
called
put him in
Rage.
the same caliber as a Keanu Reeves. Am I right to assume that?
I think he's a
that-
little bit ahead of Keanu Reeves.
No. Because Keanu Reeves doesn't just make any movie that comes his way. I feel like Nick Cage
Yeah.
does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he needs the paycheck. A lot of
Yeah.
people just make these movies for the paycheck.
Well, I think he's better acting in it than Keanu Reeves.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
totally.
The
So-
Weatherman is really good. I really like
yes,
Weatherman.
Weatherman's very
yeah.
good. One of my favorites, The Family Man. It's a great
Yeah.
Christmas
What's the
movie.
one where he drives the Eleanor Mustang?
That's
Drive
Gone in
Angry,
60
right?
Seconds.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Yeah, very good movie.
Fantastic.
Eleanor
That's-
Mustang.
And he's
Angel
always
Lee.
keeping you on your toes with his
yeah,
hairstyles.
Yeah. Oh, his hairstyles
His
are wild.
hairstyles is what just makes
Oh
his
my
movies.
goodness. Also, again, that's one of the films that are coming out. That's probably the last film you'll see this weekend because of the two powerhouses that are coming out, Gone Girl and Annabelle. Gone Girl, again, everybody's talking about they're going to see this movie. I mean, I could see this movie doing a $40 to $50 million box office for how many women, not children, but how many people are saying I'm going to go see this movie because it just looks so good.
Well, that's like we talked about last week with the established fan bases already with the book.
Yeah.
2 years ago, everybody was reading this book like it's crazy. Everywhere we went, coffee shops, diners, people had this book on the table.
Right.
So now it's just gonna add up the money for the movie now.
We'll talk about Affleck in a little bit, but the second film coming out is Annabelle. It's a horror movie produced by James Wan, not directed. If you're not familiar with James Wan, he wrote and directed the original Saw movie. He didn't do the following sequels. He also did The Conjuring, Insidious 1 and 2. He did Death Sentence, Dead Silence, and he's doing Fast and Furious 7, believe it or not. That just finished shooting. Wan did not direct this film, but Joe, you said before that the early talks about this film, Annabelle, is that it's not that good. Is that what? Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
Is that
What I'm hearing from early reviews is that it's not. It's very like foolish in the way the plot goes.
Right.
As far as jump scares, it's up there with any other horror movie, but the plot is very silly, very.
It's just like a classic kind of horror movie that people have been doing over and over again.
Right.
Who goes to these movies for plot though?
That's true. That's true.
It's true, but there's movies that are.
I really don't think anyone cares about plot.
The reason why I love The Conjuring is because it had a mixture of both.
Conjuring.
It gives you every scare that you want to see. It has haunted kids, haunted house, the car. The car. What am I saying the car for? I'm thinking of Drive Angry. This kid's got me on the Eleanor Mustang. What? So it's got all these haunted scenarios, exorcisms, haunted house, nice 70s ghost story, and it has this great plot line around it. This film, Annabelle, Joe's saying, is not going to have that. But you're right, Alex. Why do people go to horror movies? They go for a good scare every
cheap
once
thrills.
in a while.
That's it.
Yeah, good date night, cheap thrills.
They see a good trailer and
Right.
get their hopes up.
Well, I actually really enjoyed the trailer
Yeah, it
for
was
Annabelle.
nice.
How many variations of them there was.
There's
This looks
tons of
good,
trailers.
and it's got a built-in audience because of the people that have seen The Conjuring, which was the highest-grossing R-rated horror movie last year. So it has that built-in audience already. People are like, "Oh my god, that doll was so scary in the beginning." There's a movie about it. Of course, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah. You really only need enough plot to make you care about the characters.
Yeah.
Enough that you get scared if something jumps out at them.
That's
or
what I
attacks
feel
them.
about horror movies. You only need enough to drive the
But
characters
that's the
from
thing.
point A to point B.
That's the thing.
really
What I'm hearing is that people there was no reason for you to even care about these characters.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing that the
All right.
plot, really pulled the heart out of the characters where you really don't care what happens.
The bottom line is somewhere down the road, and James Wan is one of my favorite directors, but somewhere down the road, somebody said, let's make an Annabelle movie and make a ton of money. That's what somebody said. And I think they are going to make it because James Wan knows how to make low-budget horror movies. I'm not talking
They'll make a lot of money.
I'm not talking about $5 million. I'm talking about $35-40 million.
They'll make a lot of
And
money.
he makes a lot of money on the back end of that. I want to talk about the star of Gone Girl, Ben Affleck. A lot of people over the past year or so have been on the fence about this guy, especially with his announcement that he's going to be playing Batman. Joe, as a
Dark
huge
Knights.
Batman fan, what is your thoughts on Ben Affleck as Batman?
Well, I mean, when I was on the fence at first, but now it's hard to judge things before it actually happens because look what happened with Heath Ledger. As a Joker, no one thought he's going to be able.
Right.
Going from Brokeback Mountain, no one thought he's going to be a great Joker, and look how that turned out. So I mean, you have to wait and see. But I mean, I like to give him a chance. He's a good actor. He's a decent actor. So
A
we'll
lot
see
of
what
people
happens.
say that he doesn't do much change in his acting. He let's say about hair, voice, all that kind of stuff. He tends to just play this straight man actor who's just either has to save the day and doesn't have much depth to his acting. Alex, what would you say to those people who say that Ben Affleck is just kind of a one-trick pony? He only can succeed in certain films, and if you want him to joke around, he'll do movies like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or Dogma and stuff like that with Kevin Smith.
Well, I think he's shown more versatility in his career than a lot of other actors. I mean, Bruce Willis gets by on being a one-trick pony.
He is a one-trick pony.
Yeah, so why can't Ben Affleck? I have no grudges with Ben Affleck. And as far as Batman goes, I'm willing to give him a chance. Like I said, like Joe said.
The next film, the Gone Girl, is a huge opportunity for Affleck to get a nomination for a Best Actor award if he can knock this out of the park. Julie, who was on the show last week, said Affleck is the perfect choice for somebody like this. So, have any of you guys read the book, the Gone Girl book?
No, I have not.
All right, good,
No.
because I don't like to read the books before. Even if there's a book that will never be made into a movie, believe me, one day it'll be made into a movie. So I just won't read the book.
Sounds like you just don't like to read.
Yeah, no, that's very true too. I think I read like 1.5 Harry Potter books.
Yeah,
but it's, like,
the
my
last book I
favorite
read was
franchise.
Captain Underpants.
Oh man! All right, so we have a lot of movie news and some TV news. Joe, I'll start with you to get our TV news rolling because we do a lot of TV talk on here. We want to do a lot of TV talk. Next episode, I know we didn't have enough announcement about what this show is going to be about, but next episode is going to be completely TV. We're going to talk about fall TV releases, the best and the worst shows of last year, all that fun stuff. We'll see who's going to be on the show next week, but we're going to be talking strictly TV. Joe, TV news. What do we got?
All right, so the show Utopia. It's a British kind of phenomenon show that everybody loves out there. They're making it a U.S. show. Fincher's going to direct it, the first season, and Gillian Flynn is producing.
Wow.
So they're working together on that too. So hopefully that, I'm looking forward to that, see how that goes. A couple of TV adaptations of some big-time movies also. Big, the Tom Hanks movie, Big.
Come on.
That's coming to this
Oh,
movie.
Ant knows about Big. His
remember
eyes
that.
lit
Oh,
up.
He
that
loves
was-
Big. How many brains does Big get from
Oh,
you?
like, can I do more than 5? That movie.
It's a no-brainer.
Oh, that was just amazing. Growing up and seeing that was a
I enjoyed
He loves
that.
Big, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that,
Oh, I
that's
love-
coming to TV. Rush Hour.
Rush
Also coming
Hour,
to
the
TV.
TV series.
Nah.
Brett Ratner is set to be the executive producer on that. And
I mean, this
pretty
is
much it
crazy.
for
Over the past couple of years, we've seen movies be adapted into TV shows like it's nobody's business. Recently, Rosemary's Baby was adapted into a TV series. Fargo was adapted into a TV series. What else was there? A couple of years ago, that there was something that just what we're doing is we're taking these big hit movies and we're making them TV shows. And now Rush Hour and Big. I just can't see how Big would work as a TV
I don't
show.
see how
There'll
any
be-
of these
there'll be
ideas
plenty
work
more.
as shows.
There'll be plenty more. And we keep saying this, established fan bases. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it just.
But Big, it's like it's a movie that
know.
maybe my mother saw growing
know.
up. I mean,
Well,
I know
the whole entire movie was literally in a one day of events. How are they
Right.
going to turn this? What, he's going to be big for 6 weeks? Or
Big came out in
Oh,
88.
it was more than one day.
It came
All
out.
right,
in
it was like
88.
what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Because he played racquetball.
Yeah.
The guy, yeah. So I mean,
I just don't see like a big cult following for the movie Big.
What-
Tom Hanks is my favorite actor, but I don't see
No.
a big cult following for him. No pun intended. Big cult. Anybody?
but who's starring in this series?
Well,
They don't know yet.
They
Wasn't
don't.
cast
Yeah,
yet.
it's all
Oh,
announced.
then-
It's all recently announced stuff. So
Yeah.
nothing really yet. Joe, how about movie news? We got anything going on in the film world?
Well, we have Clerks 3 going to be developed.
Clerks 3.
It
We'll
finally
talk, I wanna
finally
talk
got
about
the
that.
revenue thanks to the Tusk profit.
Yes, I want to talk a little bit about that.
And also the Tetris movie has been announced.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again for the
Yeah,
camera?
so, I
Tetris.
mean, not only
Set in Russia?
well, first, video game movies have been coming on now. Now,
That's true.
Angry Birds was just announced with
Right,
a huge
right.
cast.
huge cast.
It does have a huge cast.
Yeah,
Angry Birds. The movie.
That's
Angry
ridiculous.
Birds.
The Tetris movie.
Lego
Supposedly,
movie.
the CEO of Threshold Entertainment, who was making the movie and who was in charge of the game,
Right.
he says it's going to be a very, very big, epic sci-fi.
A
He
very
said
big epic.
It's not going to be blocks coming down. It's
Oh
going to
my
be a very
goodness.
big, epic sci-fi.
How do you make a Tetris movie and not
So
a
it's
big
gonna
giant
be
blocks
it's gonna be
coming down?
aliens
That was Larry
coming down.
Kasanoff, the CEO of Threshold Entertainment.
Larry, you need the big blocks, Larry. Okay.
No. He's gonna use aliens. The aliens are gonna come down.
No, you need
It's
the square.
sci-fi.
What are there? 5 different blocks. There's the line.
I really don't know
There's
how it's
the
going to work. I
L-shaped.
don't.
The
Yeah.
L-shaped, and then there's the Z. Right? Is there any more? And am I missing any? I feel like you played. No, I'm sorry. You
Yeah,
played
there's
Pong.
that
When
Z.
you
No,
were
I played. No, I had the original Game Boy.
original Game Boy.
So it was this one,
Yeah.
right? The L.
Oh, that's right. The cross, the upside down
up the-
T.
and then there was
Right.
the box. And
Yeah.
then there was the actor. When you got the one that dropped down the line, that was just.
I just cannot see. Like, how do you not put? Anyway. Next episode, you should have seen Gone Girl and Annabelle. We'll have a full review of those. We're going to talk TV. I'll be in Florida, so but when I come back, we're going to film episode 4, which will be next Thursday. Thank you very much, guys. Go to the movies. Go watch movies. Enjoy movies. Thank you to my guests, and play us out.